my friends. I'm Dr. Jan. I'm here to look at another product that I just received in the mail. So I'm going to do a short unboxing and then give it a test run and tell you what I think about it. And I suppose all that qualifies as a review of kinds. What is this? This is the War World. That's the company name. And their address is here on the side, www.warworldgaming.com, UK. It's the Pro Grass Box. And no, it's not a place for storing your weed. It is a box to help you apply static grass more efficiently. And here we have some sort of a warranty card. That's nice. We have some sort of instructions. Again, we'll have a look at that later. Just some protective paper. We have the actual box itself. We have some sample bags of static grass of two lengths. A light green 2mm and a darker green 4mm grass. What's this here? Oh, it's a bottle of glue. Static grass tuft glue. Huh. Oh, that's for making tufts. Ah, yes, okay. So I see. This is what the wax paper is for as well, to make tufts and then apply them to the base. Well. And here is the actual box itself, which is simply a square box with a on-off switch on the front, protected by some rubber, and we have the clamp. Now, if you don't know what one of these things is for, I mean, you might ask yourself, applying static grass, how difficult is that? Let me see if I can... this is probably where the battery is. You probably need, I can't open this with my fingernail. I would need a tool of some sort to open this hatch. But we're going to assume that it does have a battery in it. Or maybe it doesn't. The switch isn't lighting up. I'm going to have to check this later. Anyway, applying static grass is easy. I mean, you just put some glue on the base and you sprinkle some static grass on top, and if you're feeling fancy, you can try to get it to stand up by blowing gently on it. But it never stands up with any sort of naturalness. It tends to lie down quite a lot. And the idea of one of these things is, by using static electricity, getting the static grass, as the name implies, to stand up more straight. And yeah, so I'll be right back with some examples to test. So to make this a fair review, I'm going to do a comparison demonstration. I'm going to take, first off, I'm taking these two models that I just painted up. You will see them in another video as well. And you can see the models themselves are painted, the bases are painted. What's left is to add some flocking to the bases. And just because the miniatures could interfere with the process, I'm also going to test on two plain bases. These bases, I've simply added some texture and painted that texture up to be like dirt. And I'm just simply going to add static grass to them. And I have two of each because I'm going to do one with my normal method and one with this new tool. So, first off, I'm going to show you the normal method. Now, the sort of by hand method is to first apply some PVA glue to the base, and I put this down with the help of a brush, a crappy brush that I only use for glue, nothing else. And now I've taken, again for the purpose of demonstration, the grass that's provided with the device. It looks pretty much exactly like my Kale Force 9 spring grass, but, well, I guess there's only so many different varieties you can make. So what you do is you take a pinch of this and you simply sprinkle it on the glue, and then you perhaps tap it a little bit, and then you tap off the excess, and if there's a part that you missed, you take some more and you continue the process. In this case, I'm catching the runoff in a plastic lid here so I can pour it back and reuse it later. And you can also sort of, it's difficult to show here, what I do is I will take this and I'll put my hand behind it and I will gently blow on this. This will go. And that sort of makes it stand up a little bit. And we'll have to wait until the glue dries, until you can see the finished effect, because right now the white behind, the white is going to become clear. And we can take the other base and just put the grass on top. Just a bit more. Take that off. Now this base, if I ever use it for a model, I'm going to have to probably clear off some of the stuff that I put on it, depending on which model I use for it, just so the model will have some room to stand. And again, blowing a little bit on it, and I've left the space in the middle clear because, again, I'm thinking that's probably where a miniature would stand, the middle. I see some spots of glue that haven't caught any glass. So that's the simple way of doing it. Now let's try the newfangled electrical way of doing it. Now, before we get started testing this thing, I'd like to just mention a few things about the stuff that comes with the grass box. First, the instructions. The instructions are kind of basic and don't actually tell you the things you really need to know. The safety instructions are good, of course. The use of English confuses me because it seems to be written by somebody for whom English is a second language. There's a lot of grammatical errors, but oh well, I can get the gist of it. The only real error is it says a 9-volt battery is pre-installed. It was not. I had to go out and buy one. Now, this could be some sort of restriction about sending batteries through international mail or something. They didn't want to put one in, and it's no great expense. But just wanted to point that out. If you're going to buy one of these, you might want to stock up on batteries. Also, I'm confused by the warranty card that comes with it, because it says, if I sign this, I acknowledge that I have read, fully understood, and accepted this limited warranty agreement. What agreement? There is no description anywhere of an agreement. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't sign this. Anyway, the rest of the stuff listed does come with it. We have the box. We have some glue, and for this demonstration I'm going to use the glue that came with it, because the instructions claim that this is special glue that is somehow more conductive or something. I'm not sure how that would work, but hey, I'm not a scientist. So let's apply some glue to the models and we'll get out. As per the instructions, I've placed a fairly hefty dollop of the static grass on this plate. I'm holding the miniature by the clip, with the clip close to the glued area. Not sure how it's going to help because the base is plastic. Plastic does not conduct any electricity as far as I know, but oh well. Again, I'm not a scientist. I'm just an amateur at this. And you'll see soon, I think, the reason I placed so much white paper around this area. I'm not sure yet if it's going to show up on camera, but anyway, you hold it over the box like this. Perhaps I should move it a bit closer so you can see. And we switch it on. And I'm not sure if you saw what happened there, but the grass sort of flew up everywhere. I'm going to turn this off now. A lot of it collected on the top here, a lot of it collected on the model, a lot of it is on the paper here behind and around the box. Some of it got onto the grass, so it should be in frame here. Yeah, a reasonable amount got onto the grass. Let's let's get some more grass here. Once you've turned it on once, you see it's kind of difficult to put something on here without it flying away. I've learned to use a face mask, and I'm jeopardizing my health doing it without a face mask right now because I want to speak at the same time, because I don't really want to breathe in this stuff. And thing is that the electrical current here seems to be really strong, and it's if I were to turn this on without having the model above it, it would just blow this thing out over my entire room, I'm afraid. And let's try again. See if I can catch that spot there. That was yeah, okay, good enough. So I'm going to tap this off. Now this is what it looks like after I've blown off the excess, because a lot of stuff collected on the underneath and on the model itself, probably because the metal draws electricity. And again, this is before the glue has dried, so I'm going to do a final comparison once the glue on both experimental basis and it has dried. The next up, I want to show you the and try to see I've applied a sort of semicircle of glue on this base that has no model on it, and I'm going to turn it on, and you see it caught most of it this time. Again, just tapping this off, quickly remove it, and well, again, I'm going to show you the finished result once it's had time to set and dry properly. I'm just going to go do one final test for you. Now, you see that I've put down some of the 4mm grass that came with it, the longer grass, because I'm going to try to make some tufts. Now, I assume this is what this paper that came with the box was for. The instructions don't actually tell you exactly how to make tufts, but I assume this is how. You put down some glue in dots here, and hopefully the grass will get sucked up onto those and attached in tuft form. I don't think the paper is going to conduct any electricity, so I'm not sure why I'm holding it by the clamp. Maybe just the clamp itself will help draw the grass in the right direction. And, well, here goes nothing. Science! And yeah, kind of. I could have probably put down more grass, but hey. Well, again, I'm going to let these dry and see how they work, if they can be peeled off the paper. And I'm not sure what this residue here is. This stuff didn't want to come off. Let's try again. Huh. So the green grass, this stuff contains both green and reddish grass. Mostly the green wanted to get sucked up and become tufts. The red stayed on the plate. A bit weird. Anyway, let's disconnect this, and let's see if I can pan around here so you can see exactly how much grass has gotten blown off around this area. Yeah. Use in a well-ventilated area and wear a mask. That should have been in the instructions. Now they're done, it's time to do the little compare and contrast. So, on the left side we have the one done with the static grass applicator with the grass box, and on the right side we have the one done by hand. Now, it's perhaps a little unfair because I put less on this one, but let's see if I can hold it in such a way that you see it, both of them. I think you can see now that on the one applied with the grass box, the bits of grass stand up more straight. When you apply it by hand, some of it will stand up straight, some of it will lie down, and you'll get a sort of generally flatter appearance overall. And I think the one done with the grass box looks nicer. And similarly, if we compare the two, how to hold this, plain basis, it's again clear that the one done with the grass box is more upright than this one. And yeah, I like it. I like the effect. And here we have the tufts that are now dried, and you you can pick it up, and you apply it to a base to get some taller grass in more of a focused area instead of all over. Oops, once I took it off, it's not going to stick back on. Oh well. What are my conclusions? Well, the grass box has pros and cons, and to be precise, it has one pro and two cons, but one of the cons is not very large. The main pro argument for it, the advantage of it, the plus side of it, is it gives nicer results. It gives a more pleasing effect. I don't think there's any denying that. The cons. Well, number one, the cost. I mean, it's a reasonably expensive piece of hardware. It cost me £35 plus shipping. And also there's the expense caused by the wastage of the static grass. As I think you realized by my experiment, it uses up a lot more of the static grass than the hand application method, and there's really no way to recover the wastage. However, I don't consider that con to be that big, because static grass is not that expensive, and if you've paid for the box to begin with, then money is clearly not your main issue. However, the second negative thing about the grass box is the mess. The fact that it spreads the grass all over your house, and it's difficult to clean up, and again, potentially, I mean, because I was doing it without a mask, I mean, for hours afterwards I felt like a tickle at the back of my throat, like I breathed in some of the static grass, which is not a pleasant feeling. You need to take some precautions. I mean, if you've got it like a spray painting booth, I think you should place it in there. If not, place it under some sort of fan or something, so something that can maybe have some suction to get the excess off. So, you'll have to make up your own mind whether you think the pro outweigh the cons. I'm not going to make the decision for you. I hope you had some use from this information and found my demonstration helpful in making your decision whether you want one of these things. But anyway, that will be all for now. And until next video, I'm Daki Young. signing off.